It's all about Z-Image, a new 6 billion parameter image model that's built for speed and photorealism while still running on normal consumer GPUs, which is really amazing because here lately we've been getting a lot of models that are really just way too large to run on consumer grade very well. And so I'm really into this new Z-Image Turbo. And so I've got it wired up inside of ComfyUI here. It's a workflow and it's attached to the description so you can get the workflow in the links below. But yeah, so here's some of my settings, and I want to show some prompts that really showcase the abilities of this model. So let's dive into it. So really quickly, I just want to say what makes Z image interesting is that it uses a single stream diffusion transformer and a distilled turbo variant. So it can generate images in as few as 8 steps without completely tanking the quality. And that's really good. So it's tuned for strong photorealism, photorealistic images, accurate on text images, and both in English and Chinese. So it does text and English and Chinese very well, and it's light enough to basically run. I would say on 16 gigabytes of VRAM, you'd be safe running this model. And so yeah, let's just jump into some of the prompt work and let's see how this model performs. So this workflow runs the Z Image Turbo model, and this is BF16. So there is a quantized version if you have any problems running this model. And then we have the text encoder, which is going to be Quinn based, Quinn 3 and 4 billion parameters there. So have a pretty good clip model, and then we have the Vi, which comes from Flux. We have the AE Vi, so that's the one we use here. So yeah, let's play with this and see what we can create. So I just want to show you guys the speed of the model. Now right now I'm running a RTX A4500, so that's about 20 gigs of VRAM, and it does it pretty well. Let's look at the actual clocking times of my previous runs, and it seems like we're running in about maybe about 1 minute per run. I think it's prompt executed in 88 seconds, and then we got the prompt executed in 13 seconds down here. So let's test this out, and let's actually see the exact. All the models are already loaded into memory already, so we don't have to wait for it to load the models into memory. So let's go ahead and test the speed once the models are loaded. So we're doing a hyperreal, razor sharp portrait of a traveler standing in a quiet city, and a whole bunch of other stuff that really tries to bring out the photorealism in this model, and we'll see how it works. Uh, Done obviously very fast here. Very good photorealism. I really like the blur and so you can see the cars in the mirror effect. It looks really good. It looks very realistic. Did a very good job of capturing skin details. I really think it did great with the hair also. Um, yeah, this model does really well, obviously, right out the gate with some very good photorealism. So yeah, let's throw some more stuff at it and see what we can come up with. All right, let's throw another one at it. So we're gonna do a grease-covered auto mechanic leaning on a vintage car. Warm afternoon, sunlight streaming through a dusty garage window. Hyper-real textures, oil stains, chipped paint, dirt under fingernails, metal reflections on the chrome bumper, and shallow depth of field, natural shadows. So that's the whole prompt. Let's see how that works, and we'll see how long it takes to create the image. Very fast. I'm loving the speed on this model. It is amazing. I really like the details that it creates. Oh man, wow, that is definitely reminiscent of a auto mechanic garage. Being a mechanic's son, yeah, I can vibe with this image. And so yeah, I wanted to test abilities, and I think it did really well with the grime and dirt here. It does really good with capturing the stains on his hands as a mechanic, dirt on his clothes. You know, obviously, very he's working on some dirty stuff here. But yeah, I digress. Let's go and find out what else this model can do. So the next prompt is going to be two sweet old ladies blasting down a Walmart parking lot at 200 miles per hour. Sparks shooting from jet engines, hairnets flapping violently, spectators cheering, hyper real motion blur, insane facial expressions. So let's see what it can capture with this. All right, so let's see. Wait, they're in a jet airplane. Oh wow, they've got spectators cheering. So that's what our prompt had. It had spectators cheering. Let's see what else. Let's see if we can match anything else. Make sure it's doing everything. Hyper motion blur, insane facial expressions, hairnets flapping violently. Let's see, what are their hairnets doing? Oh yes, they're definitely flapping violently. I'm not sure. It looks like she's missing her side cart seat there. Um, Nonetheless, it still is very photorealistic. I like the details in the clouds. It really looks real, and the blur of the people. I could see that. I can see that being well, not real, but yeah. Nonetheless, let's test out some more. So we're getting really wacky now with the prompts. I just want to do some crazy stuff. So now we're gonna see a crowd of penguins in tiny suits. They're holding briefcases. They're going to be yelling at stock tickers. One penguin on a phone screaming sell. Human traders acting normal. And photoreal feathers and fabric textures. Let's see what we can come up with, guys. This new model is so crazy. I really like how it performs in this manner. Very fast, too. So, okay. So we got a lot of penguins here, a whole bunch of penguins. The humans just don't know what to make of this. I don't think they have ever seen penguins in the stock trading room before. However, they're there. This one's on his phone. Okay, this one is definitely making a sell offer right now. He wants to sell his stocks in ice and igloos. So let the penguin sell, and let's let's test something else out. Mind you, I'm just really throwing wacky prompts at it in order to see what it can come up with and how well it does. Right, here we have a 40-foot fluffy cat. Oh my, that's a huge cat. On the main stage, spinning on turntables. Lasers shooting from its paws. And people vibing like this is totally normal. It's going to be confetti everywhere and neon light bouncing off the fur. Let's see how it did. Oh, yeah, that cat's on the scratch pad. He's doing his thing. He's got some catnip in his system. He knows what he's doing today. Yeah, I see the lights bouncing off. Yeah, I really like the reflection there. People just jamming. Yeah, the kitty mix. Meow mix. All right, let's test some more. Next up on the list, we have hyper detailed squirrels wearing tiny ceremonial armor, sparks flying from miniature katanas, cherry blossoms falling dramatically, and cinematic combat poses. Oh yeah, I think it really hit on this one. It cooked. It cooked so bad. Yeah, we got the flowers. We have sparks on the katanas. They are wearing their samurai outfits, and this is just a squirrel's world right here. We're just only living in it. Amazing, amazing detail in the but just photorealism. It almost looks blurry in the background. It kind of looks like these squirrels are really going at it. So yeah, let's play with it some more. I'm loving the wacky prompts on this on how it handles. All right, so here we have one more, and then I'm gonna actually test just the realism factor to it. After doing all these wacky prompts, I think we should really do some more tests and see how well it does with things that people might actually use this model for. But before we do that, let's get to one more crazy, wacky one. So we got cows moving calmly while floating around, astronauts trying to wrangle them, milk droplets suspended midair, reflections in curved station windows, beautiful Earth backdrop. So it does well at capturing all that, I think. The cows in space, oh my, they've got their udders, got milk floating in the distance. I guess that's milk droplets. Reflection window. I think we said something about a reflected window. And astronauts trying to wrangle cows. And how did they get those cows into space? I just must have been really expensive. That's some expensive beef right there. But nonetheless, let's check out some more ways that this model can be beneficial. Let's actually test its abilities on some more practical uses instead of these crazy prompts. Let's actually test it out to see what it can perform like. A candid shot of a man walking through a busy downtown crosswalk at noon. Natural sunlight, sharp shadows, realistic crowd diversity, authentic clothing wrinkles, reflections in shop windows, and real world color tones. I think he did an amazing job out of the box with this prompt. Um, really, I just can't tell this from a real life photo, honestly, and that's saying a lot because I've seen a lot of AI images, and yeah, this model's really performing well in that field. So let's check out the next one I did. Oh, actually, go back this way. So we did a product photography type. It's a tech device. Not sure what it did here with this screen. It says a photoreal close-up of a premium smartphone on a marble countertop. Soft studio lighting, crisp edges, reflections on the glass screen, subtle fingerprint smudges, which it didn't do, and shallow depth of field. It didn't do great on this. I'm not going to say, it really did capture, the essence of a cell phone very well. However, it doesn't really look realistic as far as the screen. The button placement's a little off. It's weird. Um, yeah, I'm gonna give that a 5 out of 10. So let's go on to the next one, which is gonna be another. It's gonna be portrait photography, indoor window light, and so we have a woman sitting by a window reading a book. A soft natural light falling across her face, realistic skin texture, visible pores, warm color grading, authentic shadows in the room. Yeah, and I think it did very well to capture the essence of the skin. Whereas Quinn was before doing some really plastic looking skin, this model seems to really nail the pores and freckles, just the subtle shadows in the face. I think it did really well here. Okay, so next we have a food photography. Everybody loves a little food photography. So we have a high-end brunch plate with avocado toast, eggs and fresh fruit, overhead natural lighting, yes, crisp details, steam rising from the food, realistic textures on the bread, yeah, subtle shadows on the table. Yeah, I think it nailed all of that pretty well. Avocado and eggs. We got fruit. We have smoke. We have shadows. Yeah, I really like how it did this one. All right, so the next one is going to be an architecture test, and this is for modern office interiors. So we have a clean corporate office interior with glass partitions, sunlight reflecting off the polished floors, for sure. Realistic computer monitors. Oh, we have those. Natural clutter. Well, it's a bit of a clean office. We do have some plants. Balanced white light and correct perspective lines. I think it did really well with this office. I would love to work in this office. It looks like a great place to work and exist. So, yeah, I really have no. I mean, I think it did really good with the shine on the floor. Um, I think the monitors are all accurate and they're all the same. That looks well. The partitions are well put in. The lighting is incredible. There's so much lighting going on here. It's amazing. So yeah, let's check out the next one. Nature Forest Trail. And so what we have here is definitely reminiscent of my childhood. I love this trail here. I feel like I've been there before. I like how it's got, the brush on the sides Really does a accurate depiction of the sunlight coming through the trees. I think that's really great how it did that. Wow, this image, like if you really look at it, it just really looks natural. It looks definitely realistic forest trail. So let's go on to the next. Number 7 is lifestyle, morning coffee routine. So we have a person brewing coffee in a cozy kitchen. We have steam from the mug. We have natural morning light from the window and everyday items on the counter. Warm color palette and soft focus in the background. Yeah, so it did okay with this. I can definitely tell it's AI by the steam. The way the steam comes off, definitely can tell that this is an AI photo. But nonetheless, it does capture the coffee routine and makes me want coffee. So let's check out the next one. Fitness, outdoor running shot. Okay, so we have a runner mid-stride on a riverside trail. Okay, sharp motion freeze, realistic muscle tension. We have that. Yeah, muscle tension, realistic. That muscle looks a little bulgy there, but he's been running a lot, perhaps. Natural sweat sheen. Now that I swear, I see the sheen of the sweat, but it doesn't really look realistic enough for me. I, I can tell it's AI, but nonetheless, it did try to put it there really well, and the skin does look pretty well done. Looks like he shaves his legs quite a bit. Details on the running shoes. Oh yeah, those definitely look like some Adidas or something, some nice running shoes there. Cool. So let's check out Travel City Landmark. Oh wow, it did great on this one. We have a traveler posing casually in front of a well-known city landmark. Now I'm not sure if it's well known or not because I'm not sure where this is perhaps, but yeah, natural tourist lighting. Nonetheless, it has a lot of tourists. Wow, this place is quite popular. All these tourists, there's so many of them. Nonetheless, it did do very well with the pedestrians. Um, so yeah, the crowds in the background looks very realistic. The lens distortion is very well done. You can see the distortion in the background here. So yeah, it's really appropriate, definitely for a wide angle shot. Believable weather and sky. Yeah, it looks like a very cloudy, subtle sky. Definitely captured the essence of city landmarks, and yeah, it definitely looks realistic. That's for sure. Especially just the candidness of this, the fanny pack thing, the shoes, everything just looks really well placed. So yeah, I'll give this one a 10 even. Okay, so let's check out the next one. Automotive car exterior shot. Okay, wow, this is well. So I really like how it did the reflection. It nailed the reflection very well. That's definitely a very luxurious car, and very sleek looking. You know, oh wow, this is just the scan lines look really well. So it's a luxury car parked on a wet road after the rain. Reflective puddles, yes. Accurate car paint reflections, yes. That's what the word I was looking for. The reflections. Soft clouded sky. Yeah, we have that subtle cloudiness. Realistic tires. Well, we don't really see the tire texture. You can see a little bit of grids in the tire there, but um, yeah, this is definitely a good photo. I really think it captures the essence of a luxury car. So let's move to the next one. We have a clean modern desk setup with a widescreen monitor. Yeah. And we have a wireless keyboard, mouse, LED backlighting. Not sure where it did that. Soft window light here. We have realistic shadows from the small desk items. Yeah, we have a shadow here on that mouse. We have the shadow of the coffee cup there. Shadow on the keyboard there. Looks really well. Very yeah, realistic. Wood grain texture on the table, very well done. Yeah, this is a desk I'd love to sit at in the morning. It looks like a cozy little workspace. So the last one we're gonna go with a clothing and fashion. So we got streetwear look. Now, I'm not going to say this is a very streetwear look. It looks actually a little reminiscent of maybe jail wear, but we'll go with it. A full body streetwear portrait outdoors, natural city lighting. Now, the fabric details are very well done. I will say that. The fabric details are very visible. We have realistic folds. The stitching definitely is done right. You can see the stitching on the corners here too. Love the Converse also, even though we didn't ask for that. We got Converse here, very stylish, authentic, you know, city streetwear. And so, yeah, we have authentic shadows and definitely nailed it on the color accuracy. It it really did well in contrast with the outfit. So, yeah, I really like how this model has performed so far. And maybe we'll do a few more tests here and yeah, wrap it up. And yeah, this Z image is very well done. I really love this model. All right, fam. So before we wrap up, just a quick shout out to RunPod because honestly, they're the reason my GPU isn't currently crying in the corner. So if you want a fast, affordable cloud GPU for AI, utilizing ComfyUI or training, whatever madness you're building, RunPod is where it's at. And hey, if you use my affiliate link code in the description, it helps the channel a ton and gets you plugged into some setup I use every day. So go spin up a pod, maybe experiment a little bit, break some things, and build some cool stuff. The usual. But yeah, appreciate the support and love y'all.